Well, either someone walked by and borrowed the bike, or it ran away on its own. Either way, both guys are in a bit of a pickle and need to skedaddle. To create a solid alibi, they flagged down a car. The driver was speeding by a whole 1%, and guess what? He knows, but Terry couldn't care less what the driver said. He was determined to issue a ticket just to jot down the time of the incident. With that, he and Will had the perfect alibi. After that, they sat in silence, just waiting for someone to call the cops. According to the plan, they pretended to be clueless and returned to the scene of the crime. The person reporting was How Ty's husband, and based on today, his wife's male technician should be at work like a good little employee. Hearing that, Terry and Will just stared, mouth on the moment. Will walked into the grand finale of body disposal and cash snatching. They'd never seen any male technician around. But wait, it gets funnier. How Ty's husband said nothing was missing from the house. Now that's the punchline. A cool $1 million in cash just vanished, and he says nothing's missing. The lady cop didn't catch on, but Terry and Will's first thought was, something's fishy here. In front of everyone, he put on a show of being upset, but as soon as he turned to write the report, his face flipped like a pancake. So naturally, Will turns to the chief and says, the dead How Ty was probably done in by her husband. With no solid evidence, the chief couldn't jump to conclusions. That night, Terry took Will to an old shipping container. They decided to stash the money in there temporarily, thinking that since no one would be coming in and out, it should be safe, foolproof, is it? They agreed that until the whole mess blew over, no one was getting that cash, and absolutely no third wheel should find out. But well, oh well, while he talked a good game, he went home and spilled the beans to his wife. The only twist? He claimed that it was Terry who accidentally offed How Ty. His pregnant wife heard that and immediately opened Pandora's box of suspicion. In her mind, Terry was branded as a dangerous character. Meanwhile, the sheriff was having a drink when the driver who got the ticket approached him, saying usually they wouldn't ticket for just 1% over. Everyone knows everyone, so the woman asked the sheriff to help her get that ticket cancelled. The sheriff didn't hesitate to agree, but he thought the timestamp was a bit fishy. 3:25 was the exact time of How Ty's demise. The next day, Terry met up with Will and immediately asked if he spilled the beans to his wife. Will firmly said he hadn't said a word. Seeing Will's serious face, Terry didn't think twice, and they hopped in the car, headed straight to Q Ty's chain house. Once they arrived, before entering, Will spotted that bicycle from the other day, and the coach seemed a bit jittery when responding to their questions. He claimed he left at 12:30 and definitely did not ride a bike here, right? In reality, he was upstairs working out while the commotion below was so loud he thought guests had arrived. He peeks out and almost has a heart attack, with one side being the cops and the other being good old How Ty, aka Mr. Gone. To avoid getting himself into hot water, the coach quietly made his escape out the window. Now, facing their questions, he sure wasn't going to spill the truth. He knew the rules of silence is golden. So during this routine questioning, Terry and Will didn't catch any obvious slip-ups and wrapped up the interview with a nice little recording. Right now, the coach seems like a minor threat, but they had no idea there were more unstable factors in the mix. On the day of the incident, How Ty's husband came home to find the body on the floor and felt absolutely nothing. He was even a bit smug. Mr. Tay has been in the fish business, racked up quite a few debts, and had a 6-month-long secret fling with his secretary. His wife, How Ty, had a large endurance. Mr. Tay wanted the money and be with his secretary. He scrounged up a cool $1 million, hired a hitman to take out his wife, and after the cash disappeared, Mr. Tay thought the hitman was quite the pro. Just when he thought he could relax, the hitman called, asking Mr. Tay to meet him that night. Mr. Tay was baffled. Wasn't this all over? Why still looking for him? He wasn't the only one. When the hitman arrived to do the deed, he found How Ty had already kicked the bucket, and the stash box was empty as a wallet after shopping. After all his preparation, another hitman stole his job. See unbearable. He called Mr. Tay for an explanation, but their conversation was disjointed. After some chatter, Tay realized he wasn't the killer. The hitman didn't care who did it. From a professional standpoint, the hitman had shown up ready to roll. So every penny mattered, or else Mr. Tay would be the next on the chopping block. Hearing that, he was close to Tess. He hadn't even cashed the check yet. He had just lost that $1 million, and now he faced another debt of the same amount. To talk about bad luck. While Mr. Tay contemplated his life, Terry was invited to Will's house. Actually, this was Will's wife's idea. In her eyes, Terry was just a two-bit crook. So inviting him over was just to see if Terry was someone they could trust. Of course, Terry wasn't a fool. He wasn't there just for a free meal. Terry was keen to see if Will would keep his mouth shut about everything, especially if he told his wife anything. The message was crystal clear. Will's wife was probing Terry's reaction. Terry also caught on that Will must have spilled the beans, but he wisely didn't call it out. Instead, he cracked jokes. If someone has it out for you, they are not likely to come out unscathed. Will couldn't even get a word in edgewise and could only share his own feelings. Will could only express his feelings, and the dinner came to a close amidst this bizarre and unusual atmosphere. Will and Terry pretended everything was peachy as they walked him to the door. Then once inside, Will's wife immediately dropped her smile and said, "Don't forget to subscribe to our channel."